Hey guys, and welcome back to Top Cheddar Sports. I am Spencer. It is Monday, so we are talking all things baseball. Can't quite tell, but I'm wearing a whole lot of glove. St. Louis. We'll talk about them in a bit. All right, a very heartwarming event happened this past week. Mike Yastrzemski, grandson of the only other Yastrzemski that you know, Carl Yastrzemski, he hit a home run, Mike did, in Boston, where his grandfather, Carl, used to play back in the day when he was a Triple Crown winner. So Mike hasn't really lived up to Carl's, lofty goals that maybe were set. Regardless, the next game, Mike caught the first pitch from his grandfather, which I thought was really cool. So Mike, like I said, not as good as his grandfather, but he's kind of coming into his own finally. He's 29, but he is the owner of a 275 average on the year, with 20 home runs in under 350 at-bats. So he's a good ball player. He's just not as good as his grandfather. All right, so while we're talking relative, let's talk about the father-son duo, the Bigios. Kevin Biggio hit for the cycle this past week, 17 years after his father did it for the Astros. Kevin Biggio plays for the Blue Jays. He's really coming into his own as a player, and definitely we see a lot of his father in him. They are the second father-son duo to accomplish the feat of each hitting for the cycle, so that's pretty cool. Garrett Cole became the first pitcher to 300 strikeouts this year, and he could very well be the only pitcher to reach 300 strikeouts. Justin Verlander needs 12 more with only one more game left for him to pitch likely. Bruce Bochy watch is officially over. The Hall of Fame manager got his 2000th win this past week, so we at Top Cheddar are shutting it down. We saw what we came to see, so... Alright, just kidding, we're still here. Don't worry. You can get all your weekly news from us still, if you choose. Alright, time for our Twins Acuna update. Gotta come up with a name for this segment. The Twins now have 5 players who have hit 30 home runs this year, making them the first team to ever do so. They're also the first team to hit 297 home runs in a season, with 6 games left on the schedule. Yeah, they're hitting 300. Acuna is just 3 stolen bases away from his 40-40 season. He's got 5 games left on his schedule. You know he's going to be gunning for it, so watch out for that. That should be a fun stat to keep track of. On to our stat leaders with 5 games, so that's about what we have left, so we'll do a little bit of a prediction at the end of each one. Tim Anderson has claimed the lead for the batting title with a .334 average. DJ LeMahieu, Ketel Marte, and Christian Yelich, who is out for the remainder of the season, all sit in second with a .329 average. Pete Alonso becomes the first player to reach 50 home runs this year and is just the second rookie all-time to accomplish this feat. He's obviously got the lead with Eugenio Suarez sitting behind him, surprisingly, with 48 home runs. Jose Abreu has caught Freddie Freeman in the RBI race. They each have 121. Rendon sits just 1 back. So, final predictions. Anderson will hold on, but don't be surprised if Yelich actually comes ahead of this. If everybody else kind of trips and stumbles, his .329 average is good enough to qualify. So, watch for that. I'm thinking Alonso's going to be the only one who hits 50 home runs this year, so there you have it. He should take that, and as a rookie, that's really impressive. And Freddie Freeman, I think, will take back what is rightfully his, the RBI crown. He's had that for the past couple of weeks, kind of fighting Rendon and Abreu off. On to the pitching side of things. Hyun-Jin Ryu remains the ERA king with a .241 mark. Jacob deGrom, who we haven't talked about since the Top Cheddar podcast existed, sits in second with a .251. Expect Ryu to take that. Verlander leads the way as the only pitcher with 20 wins. There really isn't enough games. There aren't enough games, grammar, left for anybody to catch him. So I expect Verlander to be the only one with 20 wins, and therefore he should claim that. Garrett Cole, we talked about him with strikeouts. He has 302. Verlander's behind him, 14 back with 288. Garrett Cole could be the only one who strikes out 300, therefore he'll take that. So a lot easier to predict these with a week left on the pitching side of things. Kirby Yates, we haven't talked about him, but he is still our saves leader. He's only saved one game since the last time we talked about him when he hit the big 4-0. So he's sitting at 41. That is 4 ahead of Aroldis Chapman. So again, I'm expecting Yates to be the only one to hit 40. Therefore, he should take the crown there. All right, on to standings. The Central is all that is left standing in baseball. The Astros were the first to 100 wins, and the Yankees and Dodgers have since followed, reaching the mark themselves. The Cardinals have clinched a playoff spot, but they haven't clinched the Central quite yet. Their magic number is 4, while the Twins over in the AL's magic number is 3. The Red Sox, Padres, Reds, and Giants have all been eliminated, just like I called last week. Go back and watch that. I literally said those teams and only those teams. Not a lot of teams to choose from, but I'm still pretty impressive, so thank you. That leaves just 3 teams in the AL left with a chance, and it is Toit over there. Oakland has a 2-game lead for the top spot, while the Rays and Indians are actually tied for that second spot. So about 5 games left, and ooh-wee, it's a tight one. In the NL, the Phillies and Diamondbacks can likely be counted out. This race is down to the Nationals and Brewers, who are tied for both wildcard spots. So not really sure how that tie would be broken if it were to end in a tie. If the number 1 and the number 2, I guess head-to-head over the season probably would make sense. So they're currently tied in the wild card. The Cubs and Mets are just 3 games back. So real quick, what's going to happen with standings? The Twins and the Cardinals, I think, are going to take the Central respectively. Everything else has been decided as far as claiming the divisions. Now, the AL is a crapshoot. So what I'm hoping for is the final wildcard spot to stay tied. That way we have a 1-game playoff between, so who was it? It was the Rays and the Indians would play a 1-game playoff for the second wildcard spot to then go play a 1-game playoff against the A's to actually get in to the playoffs to play. At that point, it would be the Yankees or the Astros. I think they're tied for the best record over there, so it would depend. That would be the most exciting thing for baseball. Realistically, I think the Rays are the better team. I didn't look at the schedule to see who these guys are playing in their last 5-6 games, but the Rays are the stronger team. Indians are streaky. They just got off of a series with the Phillies where they did take some games, so that's why they're in the position they are. So if they can keep rolling that hot hand, there's definitely a chance for them. Over in the National League, I think it's a little bit easier. I think the Nationals and the Brewers are just going to keep hold. Cubs just lost a 4-game series against the Cardinals. They were swept in Chicago. I think their season's done. The Mets, valiant effort. It's crazy that they ended up better than the Phillies. It's crazy that 4 National League East teams, when we always talk about how the Central's tight, 4 National League East teams were vying for a playoff spot up until now. The Mets, though, I just don't think they have it in them, and honestly, I'd be disappointed if they were the ones in the playoffs. I'm kind of disappointed that the Nationals are, but they're a grindy team, so it's pretty cool that they lose Bryce Harper. People kind of write them off, and they're the ones in the playoffs. So should be interesting, should be exciting as we get down to it. Again, magic number for the Twins is 3, magic number for the Cardinals is 4, so that literally means each team needs to win 2 games, and the team behind them needs to lose 1 or 2, depending on which team you're looking at. Should be exciting as we get down to it. I'll break down, by the next time we meet, the playoff picture will be decided. So I'll kind of break down predictions for each series, and I'll give my overall prediction for the playoffs, but I'll update it, obviously, as the series move along and actual outcomes are decided. That does it for Top Cheddar for this Monday. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday, or enjoyed it. Tune in tomorrow where Brett will be taking the NBA, and we've got a little surprise for you then. That will do it. I'll see you guys next week.